here. My name is Nikki. Welcome to my first live of February 2025. In today's live, I'm going to be actually showing you how I create my monthly budget as a 40-year-old living here in Atlanta. Let's get right into it. So the first thing I do is I take out my budgeting notebook. Yes, this is a happy planner. I put my budgeting worksheets inside of this happy planner, and basically I budget from it. I just love the cover of this happy planner, love the rings and stuff like that. This is an old happy planner, so I'm not exactly sure where you can actually get another copy of this one from, but happyplanner.com have tons and tons of different happy planners just in case you are interested in them. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up my notebook and actually show you guys how I actually budget, or how I actually set up my budget for the month of February. So the first thing I do is I have an undated monthly calendar, and this is where I list all of my bills and expenses that I know that I'm going to take care of, that may have a date to them, that may already have an amount that I'm already, knowing that I want to pay for it and things like that. So other people may consider this as a bill calendar. Most people just put their bills on here, how much the bill is, and when that bill is actually due. Me personally, I just use this as a regular calendar, and I put whatever is going on with me for that month. I put it on this calendar because I believe in whatever you got going on. Maybe that may cost a little bit of money. Y'all know outside, by the time you walk outside, it's costing you $20 just to step outside and breathe the air. You get what I'm saying? So anytime that I plan on doing anything, if I'm having like a date night, if I'm going to out to eat with my friends and things like that, I'm not just putting money aside. I'm accounting for that on my on my undated monthly calendar, so that way I can adjust the amount of money that I need to put to the side accordingly. So that's what I do here. So this is how this is actually looking. It's just a undated monthly calendar with my bills and expenses on here. Now I am a sneaker girly, as you can see by the sneaker wall in the background. I love planning for my sneakers. How do I do that? At the beginning of the year 2025, I sit down, I go through my phone, and I actually go to my notes app and I write down. I don't know why I can't see the chat. Hold on, y'all. Oh, here we go. I go to my notes app and I write down all of the sneakers that I want to cop. I put the date that the shoes is actually supposed to come out, and then I also put the amount of the shoes that it's supposed to be. So I'm gonna get my other phone and I'm gonna show you exactly how that looks. So this is how it actually looks right here. So as you can see, it has 2025 sneaker releases, and I just have the date of the sneakers. I mean, the name of the sneakers, the date that it's supposed to come out, and the price of it potentially, because sometimes the prices change, or sometimes the article that I'm finding online may not have the price. So I just write it down and I will give like a little estimate of what I think the price is, or I put spring or summer if it does not have a date. So that is how I actually plan out my sneakers, and then I just budget accordingly when it comes up to my payday. So after I fill out my undated monthly calendar, the next thing I do is I give myself some money goals for the month. This allows me to actually focus on something for the month. I don't want to just go through the month just spending money, just budgeting. I want to have some goals. So this year I told myself that my goal is to get out of credit card debt. So as you guys know, I've stated on other videos that I'm in over $16,000 worth of credit cards, and my plan is to pay off all of my credit cards this year, along with paying off my I have one thing in collection. So, and then being that I just bought this house in August, I'm trying to rebuild my savings as well. So I'm doing all three of those things simultaneously. So the first goal on my budget workbook is to pay off one credit card. Last month I paid off one credit card. This month I can pay off another credit card. Any credit card that's below $1,000, I know that I can pay it off within a month's time frame. That works better for me. So that's what I've been doing since starting this challenge this year. So I paid off one last month. This month I'm gonna pay off of another. The next money goal is to track my expenses daily. The reason why I want to track my expenses daily is because I'm finding out that because I usually check my expenses weekly, which is totally fine. But what I'm finding out is that when it gets close to the end of the week, I'm just spending money like it's crazy. So you have to realize your spending habits. You got to understand yourself. And I understand myself is that, okay, once I may check in with my finances on Sunday, because I tend to do this every single Sunday. Once I check in with my finances on Sunday and I kind of realize how much money I have left, I'm not necessarily tracking it after that day to the next Sunday. So when I get back to the next Sunday, I'm realizing I have overspent in certain categories. One of the categories being food. I typically overspend in food because I like iced coffee. I like Smoothie King and with the smoothie bowls and stuff like that. But I need to cut back on some of those things in order for me to be able to reach some of the other goals that I have, such as rebuilding my emergency fund, such as paying off these credit cards and paying off the collection account that I have. So this month, I want to be able to track my expenses daily. How I plan on doing this is probably I'm just going to show up in my stories on Instagram or show up on TikTok or any one of these short form platforms where I can kind of like just put the amounts on a screen behind a video and just do like some B-roll type of content where it's easier for me to do it that way. So I'm going to do it that way with tracking my expenses daily. And then I'm still gonna typically do my Sundays where I check in with my finances as well. Last month I did what I spent in a week as a 40-year-old living in Atlanta every single week on Sunday, long form video. I'm typically gonna stick with that as well, but throughout these Sundays here on YouTube, I'm gonna be going live every single Sunday. So instead of me actually doing it in the long form video format, I'm gonna actually be doing it live so we can chat in the comments and we can, just talk about budgeting or whatever y'all want to talk about while I'm sharing my budgeting categories and what I actually spent in it. Now the next money goal for the month is to save at least $500. I do this automatically because I have that. Savings to me is a priority, and the things that are priority to me, they are set up on automatic draft. I don't have to think about, is it done? I don't have to go and physically move $250 to the side and make sure I meet my saving goals or anything like that. I just go ahead and set aside $250, automatically let it come out of my paycheck so that I know for sure that I can meet my savings goal at the end of the year. So those are my 3 money goals for the month. I do this every single month just so it can give me a focus of what to do or what I need to be focusing on for the month of February. Sometimes these changes depending on what all I have going on for the month. Franny asks, what have you found is your biggest challenge with budgeting or paying down debt? So I would answer both of those. So what I have found my biggest challenge with the budgeting is that budgeting or personal finance is personal to the individual. What my budget might be may differ from what your budget is going to be. I budget according to my lifestyle. So like you heard me say about the sneakers, most people would say, okay, well, you in debt, you don't need to be buying no sneakers. I budget, personal finance is personal to the individual. So I may not agree with you saying, okay, well, I'm gonna spend $100 on hair. If that's your lifestyle, if that's your priority, and you have money remaining from your budget and you're not going over your budget, okay, $100 may be feasible for you. But me personally, I wouldn't spend $100 on nails. I wouldn't spend $100 on hair every single month because that's like not my lifestyle. I don't typically just get my hair done every single month or anything like that. But me personally, on with the sneakers, I may buy a pair of shoes every single month. So I might spend it. It's the same $100, but I may put it somewhere differently from where you may put it. And the experts or the gurus or the people that's the teachers or whatever, they may say that that's not what you're supposed to do, being that you are in debt. When they say, when the people that I once was listening to when I first started this budgeting stuff, they told me not to do anything. Like, you can't have no type of fun. You need to just be basically work and back home and paying off debt. And I feel like that I was living like a miserable life, and I did not like that. So once I did pay off my debt before, and because I didn't know anything else, I was just listening to those people, which is Dave Ramsey. If you do not know who I'm talking about, it's Dave Ramsey. When I first started in 2019, I was listening to Dave Ramsey. I was on the rice and beans and the bean and rice and stuff like that, but it was miserable. And then we went into 2020, and y'all know what happened with 2020, and it was stressed out. Like, we already in the house, we can't do anything. Now I can't spend money. I just gotta work and pay bills. That was stressful in itself. So I said, you know what? I'm going to pay off all of this debt. And that's what I did within a year time, except for my student loans, because the student loans are like my biggest debt compared to the consumer. I think that's what they call it. But compared to like the credit cards and the personal loans and all the things that I did have, that was the biggest debt that I have. And I still do have my student loans or whatever. So once I paid those things off and I saw a little bit of free money, I started putting money aside for myself and started giving myself some money. So I don't have to give myself like $500 a month. I give myself $100 every time that I'm paid, or it may change depending on, like I said before, what all I have going on that month. If I know I don't really have nothing going on that month, $100 should last me until the next time that I'm actually paid. Sometimes I give myself $200 if I know that I'm going out, I'm doing things with my friend, it's going to be a busy month. I'm going to give myself that $200, and I'm going to make sure I can fit it inside of my budget. So that was the biggest challenge, just basically listening to these people and not adjusting my budget according to my lifestyle. So everybody's lifestyle is going to be a little bit different. What have you found is your biggest challenge about paying down debt? Now, what I found my biggest challenge about paying down debt is that sometimes it's not a budget problem, sometimes it's a money problem, and that's the issue that I'm having right now. With my personal income, I could do a little bit, or I can pay down the debt in the amount of time that I want to pay it down. But being that I also do want to save money as well, I also do have a big savings goal that I want to, have at the end of the year, or have in my banking account by the end of the year. I want to do it together, and sometimes I don't have enough money to do the savings, plus to pay off the extra debt, plus make the minimum payments on all of the other ones. So I find it challenging to go out and figure out a way to make additional streams of income. So I do that by monetizing my content, by coming over here on YouTube. Now that I'm monetized on YouTube, I can create videos and get paid from the ads, from people watching the ads over here. I also can get brand deals if people want to work with me. I can also do UGC content and stuff like that. I also sell these budgeting workbooks along with my budgeting spreadsheet. So I figure out different ways to kind of like supplement the income that I want to make in order for me to be able to pay off these credit cards by the end of the year, because technically I have to make an additional $1,600 or $1,400 to the side in order for me to pay off of these credit cards in a time frame that I want to pay it off. So those are the things that I find challenging when it comes to paying down debt and budgeting. She said, wow, that's expensive. Well, me too, it is. Yeah, sneakers is your thing. That makes sense. Everyone has their thing. Exactly. Everybody has their thing. Even it's still $100. $100 is $100, but $100 on sneakers may be perfect for me. It may not be perfect for others. So some people may say that that's too much for some sneakers. Somebody else may say $100 on nails may be too much. So whatever your thing is. Hi, Skytlanta. I think that's how you pronounce it. I have my own HVAC company. HVAC. Duh. I have my own HVAC company. I spend too much. I need to slow down, but I do have a high interest savings account and some stocks, but I can do better. Exactly. And we all could do better. The same here. I do have high yield saving account as well. That's why I have my long-term savings, or the money that I said that I want to have in my savings account by the end of the year. That big number, that's in a high yield saving account, because I can maximize that. You get a certain percentage that you wouldn't get at traditional banks. So I too do the same exact thing, but like you said, I could do better. This $500 that I'm spending on credit card payments, or $800 that I just paid off a card, could be going into that, and it's going towards the debt right now. So I can't wait till I can get to the point where I'm able to just put a large sum of money to the side instead of my regular amount that I'm putting to the side right now. So now moving on to like the monthly budget, going ahead and then planning it all out. So last month on Instagram, I did a challenge, or last month on Instagram, I did a challenge with everybody, and I just told them to track their expenses for the month of January. That was all I wanted them to do, because I know budgeting could be a whole lot of information. It can get a bit overwhelming at times, and when people hear budget, they just run the other way, because they like, oh, I don't want no parts in it. You talking about writing down, you talking about tracking your expenses every single day. Like, I don't want no parts in this. That is too much work, and I get it, especially if you spend a whole lot of money on a day-to-day basis. But I'm telling you, once you start writing this stuff down and seeing exactly where your money is going, it's gonna become easier and easier and easier, where you're gonna already know how to pinpoint the categories that you spend money in. So that's where I'm at right now in my journey. I'm at a point where I can budget by categories, and I typically just keep my expenses within those categories. So yes, I still track my expenses daily, but I categorize them at the end of the month, so I can kind of like get a total amount of how much I'm spending in each one of my categories. And I list my categories out by the most important to the least important. That way I know that I'm funding the most important things in my life, and I'm not funding the least important things in my life, if that makes sense. And I'm going to read it out to you so that it can make a little bit more sense to you. Somebody said, well, good luck on your endeavors. Thank you so much. Good luck to you as well. Is all of your budget planners digital, or do you have a physical product? All of my budgeting planners are digital and printable. So if you are interested in printable, if you want to print it out like how I did, this is the printable one. I just use my computer. I use my printer just to print it out, and I hole punched it and put it inside of my Happy Planner. If you have an iPad or a computer, then you can do it on your computer. I don't know the software that you can actually use where you could type it in, but I know for the iPad you can use GoodNotes and actually you can write your stuff in there. I also have a budget spreadsheet. So the spreadsheet can be used with Google Sheets. So if you have a Gmail account, it's automatically synced with the Google Sheets, and you can just pull it up on your computer, iPad, or whatever device that you are using, and you can just type in the numbers there. I will show you the spreadsheet at the end of the video on how I actually put this stuff inside of it. Well, I'm not gonna show you how to put it inside of it, but I can just show you, because it's gonna take me all day to input my numbers. So I start off with my savings. So first thing I do is I plan out my income. If I'm getting paid, like last month I got paid 3 times, this month I know that I'm gonna be getting paid 2 times. I start off with the lowest amount that my check has ever been. So how do I find out, okay, well, a lot of people always come to me and they'll say, okay, well, I don't get paid the same thing every single time that I'm paid. Okay, well, me either. I don't get paid the same amount every single time that I'm paid either. But I know the lowest amount of money that I've made from each one of my paychecks. And if you do not know that information, all you got to do is go back through your company's website. I don't know, most companies are online now, so you can just go back through 2024, look through all of your paychecks and see which paycheck was the lowest amount. I go with that lowest amount as my blueprint, because I know on the worst day, I know that my paycheck can at least be this amount, and I can, figure out how I can budget accordingly with this small amount, because on most days it's gonna be more than that, but on the worst days it may be this low amount, and you want to be able to handle your business with that low amount. So that's what I do here. $2,000 is my lowest amount that I budget as, and then whatever money I have remaining in my checking account when I'm creating this budget for the new month. This idea of going live on Sundays rather than you've built here. Good job on your financial journey. It's good. It's going good. Thank you, Franny. I have a printer back home in Florida, but I'm in Maryland, so I was looking for a physical planner. Okay, that's perfectly fine. There's plenty of budget planners out there as well. I think I saw one on Shein, if I'm not mistaken, because I saw the, what do you call those, like the people that stuff the money inside of the envelopes. I did see that on there. So if you are interested, maybe check out Shein if you're looking for like an affordable one. The reason why I created my own budget workbook is because I had more bills than the budget notebook had lines. And if y'all know what I'm talking about, like those budget notebooks that you buy, some of them already have the items already written in. Some of them already have like things that didn't pertain to me already filled out. I don't need medical, I don't need high heels, what's the other one was called? I didn't need medical, dental, and all that type of stuff written on my budget notebook when that was automatically taken out of my paycheck. So I needed something where I can write my own information in, and I needed a whole lot of lines, because at the time I had a whole lot of bills, whole lot of credit cards, whole lot of things going on, and I just needed something with a whole lot of lines. So that would prompt me to build my own budget worksheets. So the next important thing is my home category. So after I save money, because saving is going to be the first category, within my savings, I'm going to break it down even further into subcategories, and that's going to be my retirement, my investing, and in my personal savings slash emergency fund. Now, those three things, like I said before, the main things, or the things that I know that I want to do in advance, or that I want to make a priority, those things are on automatic draft. So my savings is on automatic draft, my emergency fund is on automatic draft, my investing and all those things are on automatic draft, because if I feel like if I don't see it, I don't miss it, type of thing. So it's already taken out of my check. When I get my check, I just see the amount that's going in my banking account. You get what I'm saying? So that just works better for me, being that I don't see it, I don't miss it, type of thing. The next category is my home category, and that's typically my house, my utilities, the life insurance, short-term disability, aftercare for my son, the phone bill, the main bills that I know that I have to pay if shit was to hit the fan and I lose my job and things like that. I know majority of these bills are the bills that I know that I'm gonna have to take care of, push come to shove. The next category is transportation. This month with transportation, it's only gas. Sometimes I save for car maintenance. Sometimes I save for oil changes. Sometimes I save for emissions, that type of thing. But that's not like a every month thing. Some people do put a little bit to the side every single month, being that my dude, he do work on cars, and he pretty much kind of like keep the cars up and running and stuff like that. The only thing I may have to take care of is like the emissions or whatever. Last year I didn't have to do it because he was with me and he did it for me, but sometimes I do have to take care of the emissions, and that's something more so I have to do during your birthday time, and my birthday is near the end of the year, so I don't have to really worry about that right now. Only thing I had to worry about when it comes to transportation for us this month is gas. So I budget gas every single Sunday, and you may be wondering, like, how do you know when you're gonna put gas in your car? I don't know when I'm gonna have to put gas in my car, but I just make it a routine to go to the gas station every single Sunday. I don't care if the car is halfway full, I don't care if the car is empty, I don't care what the car is doing. I make sure I go to the gas station every single Sunday as my weekly routine. Typically I'm off on Sundays, so it just kind of works. That's when I run all of my errands anyway, and it just works better for me to do it that way. Now sometimes I may, like if I'm off on Monday, I may skip that Sunday with going to the gas station and just go to the gas station on that Monday, but I still try to go to the gas station at least once a week. Now, if you know that you're going to be doing a whole lot of riding around, if you know that usually you go to the gas station twice a week, you need to be paying attention to how much money you're spending at the pump, because we tend to overlook these things. Don't just go in the store and say, can I get 10 on pump 5? I mean, if you have to do that, then do that, but start trying to fill up your gas tank every single time that you go to the pump, so that way you can start paying attention to for one, the price of gas, and then two, how much it costs to actually fill that tank up. So that way, when it comes to budgeting out your finances or budgeting out gas, you can know how much to put aside every single week or twice a week when it's time to go fill up your gas tank. So I mean, me going to the gas station now is just like, I can kind of know. All I have to do is just know the price of gas, and then I know how much it's going to cost my car, how much it's going to cost me to fill up my car. So you always budget with the lowest amount your paycheck has ever been? Yes, I typically budget at the lowest amount. Now, sometimes my paycheck may be lower than the lowest amount that I've actually got paid, but that may be because one time I called out and they didn't pay me. So I thought that I did like a leave with pay, but I did leave without pay type of thing, so that way I didn't got paid. But I'm talking about on an average, what is your lowest amount of paycheck? I'm not talking about like a one-off type of thing. Now, if you keep saying that you budgeting at $2,000 is your lowest, and you keep saying that you getting a $1,800 paycheck, then maybe you need to budget at $1,800 instead of $2,000. But for me, I think I only got paid one time lower than the amount that I've actually the lowest amount that I actually put on here. But yes, I always typically budget at the lowest amount that I've ever received, and then once I get the paycheck, I then readjust my budget accordingly. So this right here, what you're seeing where I budget at the lowest amount of money that I make, is my monthly budget. Now, I also, like I said before, now when I get paid, I'm going to budget that paycheck accordingly. So even though I'm budgeting $2,000, if that paycheck is $2,100, I'm going to budget out that $2,100, and I'm going to try to make sure I'm putting that extra $100 into something else that I wanted to go towards my goals. So I hope that makes sense. I do cash stuffing as well. That's what I was looking at yours. I wanted something I could fill in. Yes. So the cash stuffing, that's what I did when I first started out. Great way to stick with your budget because you only go in the store with what you have, and I mean, what you can't go over the amount because you're using cash. So I absolutely love cash stuffing. It's just now I'm just at a point where I don't got time to go to the bank to take out money, nor do I. It's just not in my lifestyle anymore. Put it that way. It's not in my lifestyle. I like the automation thing. I like for the money to come in, money to go out to where it needs to go, and I don't have to think about if stuff is being paid. With the cash stuff, and you literally got to physically get your butt up and go out and pay it. I don't want to do that. You get what I'm saying? But that was the very first way, because like I said before, I was following Dave Ramsey, and he's big on the cash stuffing, and that's what I was doing in the beginning. How can I purchase your budget sheet? Do you have an Etsy shop? I love to support. So I have a stand store. I don't know if I can actually put it, or I have my website too. Hold on. Is it here? Let me see. Pin to live screen, tag products. Okay, how do I tag products? Okay, I just tagged some products. I don't know if it's actually showing because I'm not too familiar with this, but I do have a budget workbook. I also have a budget spreadsheet as far as like the people that love like Excel, like I said before, but it is Google Sheet, but it's just like Excel. So if you are an Excel girly that loves to input numbers and like for it to calculate for you, then the spreadsheet is perfect for you. But if you are a workbook type of girl like I am, paper to pen, this is perfect for you as well. And then I also have like a little a debt tracker, a debt tracker, where basically it just shows you different ways how you can get out of debt, and then you can actually track you getting out of debt. Basically, it's just like a worksheet as well, where you're writing down the type of debt that you're paying off and the different times that you're making payments on it, and where you're tracking it to actually get out of it. Okay, I don't know how to. Hopefully I pinned it, y'all. I don't know. Hopefully I pinned. I had to exit out, but hopefully it's still pinned. The next category is food. This is the category I typically overspend in. Now, I've been trying to really stick with the budget. Last month, I went over almost $100, and I don't like that. So I gotta be really, really, really careful when it comes to like my out to eat and my groceries and the stuff like that, because that's where I typically overspend. And I was doing so good for the month, and then like I said before, last Sunday, after looking at the budget and then going back to the spreadsheet to see how much money I had left, and it said I had $23 left. By Tuesday, I already knew that I had ate up that $23 just that quick. Hey, Nikisha. I had ate that $23 up at just that quick. So that's where I need to work on the food budget right there. The next category is subscriptions. So subscriptions, this is where y'all know when we have all of these subscriptions, you don't even realize that sometimes you may have the subscriptions down twice. I know I was getting charged something on Apple twice, $9.99, $9.99, and come to find out, because I have two phones, and these phones sometimes they sync or they do something where I was paying for something for what is it called, CapCut on one phone, and then on this phone I was paying for CapCut again. So I had to cancel some of these $9.99s in these subscriptions, and I kind of like gotten it down to just three subscriptions far as what goes out of my personal account. Now the next category is my debt payment. My debt payment, like I was mentioning before, my goal is to pay off the credit cards this year and to pay off a collection account. So I have 7 credit cards. 3 of them are paid off. I only have 4 of them left. So I have 2 Capital One cards, my Navy Federal, and then my Discover credit card. Last month I paid off of another Capital One because I initially have 3 Capital One cards, which is way too many. But 7 compared to what I hear most people have, hey, I'm doing pretty good over here, because some people have like 25 credit cards, but I only have 7, and I don't really use any of them. Not anymore, because it's like sometimes when you try to pay off something and you still using it, it's like it never goes down. So I just had to cancel my like the stuff that I do with my business, like a SEO, not an app, what is it called? it's a subscription, basically a plan that I was paying for out of my Capital One card. I had to cut that off and put that just on the bank card, because I'm trying to pay this card off. I keep putting $100 over here, but I'm not seeing the $100 take away from the balance, because all of these subscriptions is still coming off of this credit card. So I just switched it over to the content bank or whatever, and I just like it that way, and that way I can start focusing directly on the credit cards and actually start seeing the money go down from the credit cards. Now, after I do the savings, my home, my transportation, the debt, the subscriptions, and then the debt payments, then I see how much money do I have left over. If I have anything left over, that's where my everything else category, or my miscellaneous spending, or my fun spending, or my sneakers, clothing, all of that stuff that I know that I want to do, that's not a necessity. So for this month, I'm going to be putting aside money for fun, money for sneakers. I'm going to be starting my travel sinking funds, because I want to start going out of town, and I want to start budgeting accordingly for those things. And I'm going to be putting extra money inside of my savings as well. So that's what I do with my everything else money down here, and that's pretty much how I put my monthly budget together. And how, hey Abigail, and how I actually get all of these numbers is basically me looking at my last month's expenses. So let me just go back to January's. And me looking at my budget for January, all I have to do is come over and see, okay, well, how much did I actually spend on my household bills last month? So last month I spent $2,186.18. So for February, I should be around that same amount, or maybe a little bit more, or maybe a little bit less. So this month I'm around $2,137.50 as a budget amount, because I already know I'm already saving $95 from the budget, because my son do not have aftercare for one of those weeks. They're on winter break. So being that he's on winter break, I don't have to pay daycare fees or aftercare fees. So I know that I'm saving $95 there. So that's how you typically just get your budget and make it as realistic as possible when it comes to your lifestyle, by tracking your expenses every single day. Or if you want to do it weekly, like how I was doing it weekly, it may be a little bit much if you spend a whole lot of money on a week-to-week basis, but I'm going back to tracking my expenses daily, so that I can start writing those $1 here, $2 there type of thing. If I'm spending money every single day, it'll be a little bit easier, and it shouldn't be 10 transactions in a day when it comes to tracking your expenses and then planning it all out. She said, yes, realistic budget for the win. Yes. So that's what I love about budgeting. That's how I actually set up my monthly budget for the month of February. And that is basically how I'm going to be budgeting as a 40-year-old living here in Atlanta. I wanted to start doing these on Sundays, like I said before, you guys. So if you are interested in joining me on Sundays, where I'm going to be talking all things budgeting, I'm going to be talking about tracking your expenses. I'm going to be talking about budgeting out your paychecks, and a different type of budgeting method that you could use, or you can try if you are new to budgeting, or if you just wanted to just chime in and just see how much your girl is spending on these week-to-week basis. I would love to have you here on my YouTube channel. Next time, hopefully I can schedule out the live and actually kind of like have it posted on a community feed, where you guys, where people can kind of like, because I just went live randomly. I didn't tell nobody what time I'm going to go live. I kind of like hate sticking with a time, because it seems like every time I put a time on it, something comes up. Something always happens. I'm not at home or I'm on the way, or I'm rushing, trying to do all of the things, and I don't want to be like that. I typically just want to come on here, whenever I can, and kind of like share those things with you guys. So next time, hopefully I can kind of like put a time on it if I don't have really anything going on that week. And I would love to see you guys here. Do anyone have any other questions before I go? Well, this was a great live. I was kind of nervous. I'm not even gonna lie. I was kind of nervous to do this live. This probably like been my third or fourth live. I don't really go live on YouTube, but this is a great opportunity for me to like get more practice in, to continue that is a great way for me to get more practice in, and to try and build community over here with you guys, because this is the only platform that I feel like I haven't necessarily built community. I just post my videos and then I be out, but I want to start building community over here as well, just like how I have done on the other platforms. I love creating these YouTube videos. I can't believe like I have like really got in the habit of like being being a YouTuber, I guess you would call it. Thanks to you, Nakisha. And if y'all are not in, if y'all are an aspiring content creator, or maybe you're not even an aspiring content creator, maybe you are a content creator that's looking for a little bit of motivation or a little bit of help. Maybe you don't know how to navigate this YouTube thing or whatever, and you're looking for a mentor or a coach or someone that's more experienced than, you know, that we are, that know more about this stuff than we do. Nikisha is your girl. She's in the chat down below, her name right there, Nikisha. So make sure you check her out. She has a YouTube channel as well as outside accountability group that I'm a part of as well. If you want to hit her up and get information on that really wonderful lady, really wonderful group, like definitely recommend that. Yes, Rob, you definitely need her. Yes. She said, great live. Thank you. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Yes, yes. She's the truth when it comes to the YouTube. I have grown. Like, I wish I could have. I haven't documented my whole entire journey, but I think when I started working, before I started working with her, I want to say that I probably was at like maybe almost 2,000 subscribers, and now I have grown to over 2,000 subscribers. And I mean, she has a wealth of knowledge when it comes to this YouTube and just business in general. Like, all of us are, a lot of us are just creating content just to be creating content, but this is a business for her, and I want to make it a business for me as well, instead of just creating the content just to create the content. And that's what she's about. She's about standing on business, the business behind creating the content, and that's what I feel like I need. Nikisha Wynn. Can I type it? How do I chat? Pin message. Let me see. I'm gonna pin her message. And that's her. That's her right there. I just pinned her message. Her name is Nikisha Wynn. That's her channel, Nikisha Wynn. Okay, y'all. Well, it's been a great night. Thank y'all so much for tuning into this live and chatting with me. I will be live next Sunday, and I will put the time in the community post. If if I don't have anything going on, I don't think I have anything. What's next Sunday? The 9th. The ninth. I don't have anything going on. I do have something going on the 7th, but the 9th I shouldn't have anything going on. So hopefully I can go live again around 6 o'clock if that's okay with everybody. But until then, y'all stay blessed. Y'all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you on YouTube. Bye.